Yo, what's going on guys? HyperX here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. And today, as we get close to the end of the year, as we kind of get to the point where we're probably not going to get many more announcements this year, short of maybe the odd Twitter post here or there, I thought I would quickly round up all the monsters that we have seen so far for the game, which admittedly isn't a great deal, but we do this every time a new Monster Hunter game comes out, and we then continue to add to this list as and when they get announced. So if you want a comprehensive list of what has currently been shown as and when they reveal new trailers, then make sure you check back regularly, because of course we'll keep you posted. But if you guys enjoy this, a like would be super appreciated. Of the ones we've seen so far, which ones are standing out the most? Given the sort of gothic theme, what monsters do you hope to see? And of course, don't forget to keep it locked, because next year it's gonna be a good year for Monster Hunter. So, in at number 1, we have Malzaino, the Vampire King, as I like to call him, looking hella cool. The second we saw this one in the trailer, I like this guy a lot. But, of course, Malzaino has a body shape that is kind of reminiscent of a sort of European dragon, similar to Valkana, has dark scales covering its body with sort of red feather-like tufts on its neck, chest and front legs. Its wings, of course, from the outside have this sort of dark grey, almost black shadowy coating to them. Meanwhile, they have a red sort of ominous looking underside, and the wing membrane connects separately to the sort of wing fingers, so you kind of have these sort of spooky looking claws. Admittedly, right now we don't really have any gameplay of this, so we don't necessarily know how it's going to behave. We don't necessarily know what sort of moves it will have. However, it is thought that Malzaino seems to be based on the classical sort of gothic vampires like Count Dracula, and this is evidenced not just by its design, but also by the sound of drinking in the teaser trailer from the sort of initial Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak reveal, which could well imply that it sucks the blood of other monsters, which also might be why we saw Rathalos flying through the sky at the beginning. Rathalos is getting beaten up by this new creature. It would be super cool if they all have this sort of unique gothic sort of vampiric style mechanic. Of course, the next one we'll speak about also has something in that vein, so definitely can't wait to sort of see how that plays out in game. But of course, when you think back to Rise, and a lot of the monsters were inspired by Japanese yokai, it's kind of cool to start thinking about what the gothic style monsters could maybe have in store for this game. Of course, moving on from there to the newest reveal, we have Garan. Garan is a large wolf-like fanged wyvern, similar in appearance again to sort of New World fanged wyverns such as Garan, Tobikidachi, and again from the back, some parts of it looked almost like a Stygian Zenoga, but again it has a much smaller, almost more squirrel/wolf-like appearance than your kind of big bulky Zenoga. That being said, its body of course is covered in cobalt scales with white edges with several ridges running down its back. It also has been shown to grow ice-like crystals on its back when in combat. Interestingly, Suzuki, the director, he went on Twitter to basically say that the monster, the ice wolf wyvern, Garan, that appeared in the video released the other day, he said is a fanged wyvern species that tosses hunters with agile movement. So expect to kind of be grabbed and thrown around. I guess kind of like a wolf sort of just grabs meat and throws it around. That's going to be pretty brutal. And he also says one of the features is of course the change that occurs in the monster itself, which can be seen in the video. Again, we of course see this one howling towards the moon, so I'd be willing to bet that it's sort of somewhat linked to environmental conditions, a la kind of the werewolf. Of course, when the moon comes out, the werewolf comes out, and things get kind of spicy. But of course, also knowing that it has this sort of frost-like element to it, I would therefore imagine we'll get some frost element weapons from this beast. And then finally, we of course have Shogun Senoto, not technically a new monster, but a new announcement for Sunbreak, which of course is the first returning monster. As you know, in the game we'll of course have a mixture of returning and new monsters. Shogun Senoto, of course, is another one of the Carapaceans. Its body is covered in a blue carapace, its head being long and knife-shaped and features a pair of lengthy antennae. It also has folding claws that act as sickles, which of course means it also has a badass longsword, and in rage mode these can then double their length, adding significant amount of range to its reach. Shogun Senoto is also capable of firing a stream of pressurized water from its shell, and in addition to this, it can also climb walls and ceilings, and can extend and retract its scythe-like claws. It also has a rather bizarre defense, which is its own urine. If you get caught by this, you're in trouble. While wearing a skull on its back and hanging on the ceiling, it can of course spray water down the enemies kind of like a turret, and unlike Daimyo Hermitor, Shogun Senators are incredibly aggressive and will defend their territory vigorously if threatened, and it's also often seen alongside a group of younger Senator. So this is one of the Krabby Boys making a return. But as it currently stands, those are the 3 monsters we have had revealed so far. Of course we saw Rathalos in the trailer, but Rathalos is also in base Rise, so it's obviously not going to go away, so that is already in the list. But for the time being, 3 monsters to look forward to. I hope that when we get back in the new year, maybe once the PC version has launched, because that's probably going to be their primary focus, but after that I look forward to the sort of marketing train on the run up to the launch of Sunbreak with lots of exciting announcements. But anyway, thanks for watching, catch you guys in the next one. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to catch more from us, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest uploads. And if you want somewhere to hang out, play games, or chat all things from games to anime, food to fitness, consider joining the HyperX Gaming Discord.